From being in the education space, financial space for the last 15 to 20 years, I've noticed that there's a disconnection between parents and children.
Year 10, year 11, I discovered at uni you could start doing stuff like doing game development and studying it and all those sort of things.
So there is an incredible young man in the building right now, Samuel, and Samuel actually has developed his own game.
When you're pressured and forced into doing something you don't want to do, so having the support of your parent, your guardian, that's the person that raised you, having their support to believe in what you want to do, it will inspire you to do more.
All right, firstly, I want to say a huge thank you for everyone who come down today. It means a lot to me to see so many young people in the place, but even more, it means a lot to me to see so much parents come out and actually be able to understand how important gaming is and understand their children's future. So I want everyone to give themselves a round of applause right now. Everyone give themselves a round of applause. Now I go by the name of Mr. Midas. I've been working in the gaming industry for 8 years as a host, as a content creator and as a producer, and I've been lucky enough to be able to do so many special and incredible things. But what means more to me than anything is being able to do something for the next generation. All the young people in here, you are the reason why we're here today. You are incredible and you are going to change the landscape of what gaming is. And we are all here for you. So all the young people, give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause, young people, because it's all about you. Now we're gonna have an incredible panel today. We're gonna discuss different creators' journeys. I have my brother, Mini Midas, in the space, and he's gone through the journey of being able to go to university, being able to get a master's. So he's gonna explain from an educational route and getting himself a job within the gaming industry. But we're here for one reason. We're here for the incredible young people. And I'm super lucky to be part of Black Tech Divisions. Now, Black Tech Divisions, we are here to be able to give a space for these young people to understand, but also to link children and adults together and how we can come together. And we can't be here without the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Dexter Sims. Everyone give Dexter a round of applause. Now Dex is going to give you a short, brief introduction of what BTD is, Black Tech Day is, why you should be part of it, and then we're going to speak a bit more about Black Tech Gamers. Big round of applause for Dex!
So yeah, as Midas said, I haven't got no speech or anything. I just want to talk straight from the heart as I usually do. What Black Tech Divisions is, bridging the gap between community, businesses and education bodies. From being in the education space, financial space and the entrepreneurial space for the last 15 to 20 years, I've noticed that there's a disconnection between parents and children. I noticed that there's a disconnection between colleges and universities and the companies that after your children have gained this qualification, after all of these blood, sweat and tears, they don't have an opportunity waiting for them after college. They don't have an opportunity waiting for them after university. And what I also discovered is, we're all in the UK right now, so let's take the UK for instance, the pressure that the UK puts us under as adults. Sometimes it's very hard to keep up with our children. As long as they're clothed, as long as they're housed, as long as they go to school, we feel like we are doing the best that we can. Unfortunately, in the times that we're in now, with technology just going at a silly rate, I don't even know how much percentage I was just about to say, but with technology moving at such a fast rate, I think it's imperative that children and parents are actually having conversations, because there's things that's happening on your child's phone, on your child's computer game that you are unaware of. There's things that's happening in your life financially, in terms of income, in terms of investments, in terms of financial strains. What your child doesn't actually have to know how much strain you're under, but it's for them to understand how things work. Because you're sending them out into this big bad world and expecting, or should I say more hoping, that this big bad world teaches them, looks after them and provides them an opportunity, I think that's a little bit too far-fetched. So with myself having 3 children, I've actually realized it's up to me. The power is in my hands. I have my young son here today, and he only knows about playing the game. Now I want him to know about how do I become an actual streamer and get paid. I want him to know about how do I build and make and create my own game. How do I become the game character's designer? You know, every character you see in a game has hairstyles or has clothes on. These things are actually designed. That is actually a job role within the gaming industry. So I'm here to make sure parents are aware, because it's the parents that are the actual gatekeepers to the direction of where your child should be headed. So if you are unaware of how to allow your child to become a YouTuber, to become a gamer, to become any of these new job roles that didn't exist in our time. You know, they're talking about social media manager. We're talking about community manager. These jobs are actually paying good money in the gaming industry, in the tech industry. But because of parents, we're unaware of them, we've stuck to our traditional ways of sending our children to school and college and hoping for the best. Today, we make history. Today, we have made history. Today's a Monday afternoon, and we are in the middle of central London. A place that we usually don't feel welcomed. That's why we don't come to the city. We stay in our local areas. Unfortunately, in these local areas, there's not enough opportunity. So I make sure I go out of my way to bring us to locations like this and to make sure that we put people in front of you who's done it, who's doing it, who's very open to sharing their experiences with you and sharing the routes that you could be taking, because it's never too late to stop learning as an adult, and the routes that you could be directing your child into. So before we start the panels, I just want to give out some goodie bags to 9 ticket holders who came first, so don't everyone start cussing me. The first 9 ticket holders who came first, and just before we do that, and just before the panels, like Midas said, please give yourselves a round of applause for coming here today. No, give yourselves a round of applause.
Me too, yeah?
All right.
Me too, yeah?
Yeah, of course. You took time out. So, let's not delay it no more. Let's just get some of these goodie bags out. I'm not going to be going through them and picking whether you got a Switch or a Twitch or a Xbox. So we've got Billy. Round of applause for Billy, please. And then we've got Michelle.
You want PlayStation?
There we go. Round of applause for Michelle, please. This is it. We got some good goodies in there, you know, PlayStation, socks and all these things. And then we got Cecilia. There we go. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a CEO of a clothing brand for the last 10 years called Mulacate Clothing, but she is actually wearing one of our products, which I haven't seen in over 5 years. And can you just give them a show, please, of what kind of product it is? Really, I used to love that product. So yeah, thank you very much for joining this journey too. Thank you very much. And then we've got Lisa. Lisa, right there. Round of applause for Lisa, please. And then we got, last but not least, Kirk. Oh, my guy. Yeah, Kirk, you're getting a little story as well. My brother, come up here, please. You got a little story as well. Listen, I stand for change and opportunity. So in one of my other organizations, I actually teach business and entrepreneurship in colleges and in universities. I currently teach in Coulsdon College, and my second lesson was last week, Wednesday, and there was only about 6 of them in the class, and I've asked them if they could come, if they would like to come, and 3 of them turned up, and as you can see, one of them said, so give them a round of applause. Young king, man, proud of them. And that's what I mean. That was the last one, but that's what I mean, people, yeah? If we don't showcase where the opportunities are, they won't know where to go. So they come out of school and college and university lost. So, Mr. Midas, take them away and let's have a great panel discussion. Thank you very much. Yes, my bro.
Huge respect and huge round of applause for Dex. Now I need some energy for Dex.
Yeah, I'll give him
some energy for Dex. I'm going to speak to some incredible gamers. Now, the reason why we're speaking to these gamers is we want to give you a small insight to the gaming industry for you to understand for yourself if you want a career in gaming, or for parents to be able to understand how they can get their child in a career in gaming. Now, if you become a BTD member, there is so many opportunities like these events, there's workshops, there's so much more information we can give you. So I'm going to throw out a question first of all right? So we've got Hollywood and we've got the gaming industry. Do we think the gaming industry, you're going to shout out, is worth more or less than Hollywood? If you think it's more, shout more. More. If you think it's less, shout less.
Down as Bobby.
Not one person. All right, let's talk about the music industry. The gaming industry versus the music industry. Do we think it's worth more or less? Shout out more if you think more. If you think less, all right, cool. Let's have the music industry and the TV film industry versus the gaming industry. Do we think both of them together is worth more or less than the gaming industry? Shout out more if you think more. Shout out less if you think less. Well, you're all wrong. Because the gaming industry is actually worth more than Hollywood and the music industry combined. Now, a 15-year-old in Manchester last year came second in a Fortnite tournament and won over £1 million for his mum. Over £1 million. And the first thing he did is go and buy his mum a house. And his mum was saying that she used to hate him playing his console and she couldn't understand why he was always gaming, and they had arguments, and at one point she said she's gonna throw his Xbox out the window, and she can't believe that now her son has just bought her a house. And this is what this is about. It's about educating parents to understand this is a good and a safe way for your children to game. So I'm really honored to have my little brother come up as our first guest. He actually was a co-producer on Games, Gadgets and Rhymes on GRM Daily. He actually has got a master's in environmental art. He actually has worked for a gaming development studio, Supermassive. Listen, everyone give a huge round of applause for Mini Midas! All right, so we're gonna get one thing straight, first of all. Yes, he's taller than me, and he's called Mini. There was a point he was Mini compared to me, all right? Now he's taller, we're not gonna speak about that again. So, Mini Midas, thank you so much for being here today. So the first thing I wanna do is ask you, how did you get into gaming, and where did your love of gaming come from?
Well, to be honest, like growing up, just at the end of the day, I had a huge inspiration from my brother playing games. I always used to play games with my dad and my sister, and it was kind of like a family bonding thing. But through it, it was kind of a situation where I was like, I want to do this. This looks fun and interesting. And as a young you don't know exactly what you want to do, but I was like, I always wanted to be games. So I just went through the path, and yeah, it's just starting from something young and continuing to be passionate enough to be like, you know, this is what I'm going to do, and take the steps towards it.
I remember bracking him up at games as a kid, destroying him. He used to get upset, rage in his room, kicking up the place after he lost on a game. But now he destroys me in games. So I've been gaming my whole life, just like you. We're siblings. I've been gaming my whole life. But the interesting thing about you that's really different from me is when I was young, I didn't know you could have a career in gaming. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know it was possible. When did you decide that you want to have a career in gaming, and when did you know that was a possibility?
For me, it was a situation where I didn't realize it was something I could do, but passion, I was like, I really love this. And then when I got to the point when I was near, let's say, year 10, year 11, I discovered at uni you could start doing stuff like doing game development and studying it and all those sort of things. So for me, I was like, okay, focus on what I need to do and then take the next step. So as soon as I went to college, I went straight into a game development course and just continued and built from there.
So the reason why we're speaking about this is gaming has many factors. So there is an incredible young man in the building right now, Samuel. I'm going to point to you right now. And Samuel actually has developed his own game. He's created his own game. Everyone give Samuel a huge round of applause. Samuel, I'm not picking on you, but the reason why I'm pointing that out is even me, when I was playing games, I didn't realize that you could make them. When I was a kid, that never even came into my head. So that's why I want parents to understand that there's so many different factors. So you decided to go through the mainly 9-to-5 route, so where you can actually get a job and a career. So you can have a job and career and 9-to-5 in it rather than being on the more creative end. So you decided you wanted to go to university. How was that process? How did you find the course that you wanted to do? How did you apply? What was the financial burden?
I feel like once you get to the point of, I've gone to college now, I've started to figure out, cool, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? I feel once you get to that step, it's like, cool, what do I need to do to take the next step? And for me, one of the next steps was going to university. So it was kind of looking around, seeing what different universities provide different things for me, go there, go to open days and check out what they can provide me. But also by listening to them, you can sort of discover, do I want to do this part or this part? For instance, I like to do environment art, or I like to go on the art side of gaming, but there's multiple aspects. There's testing, there's design, there's development, there's concept, and there's so many different directions that you can go in that at the end of the day, if it's something that you're passionate about, definitely the university route is definitely there. And at any point that you can come, go to stuff like this, go to events, meet different people, and the connections that you make are very, very valuable because you never know what doors it will open for you. But once I did get to the point where I was like, cool, I'm at uni now, and I got there, it was, at the end of the day, it was scary. I went to university up in Stoke-on-Trent, which is in the Midlands. I was away from all my family, and I just took the leap because I knew it was something I was passionate about and something I wanted to do. So I went through it, met a lot of people, and just studied and tried my best and did what I could. And once I left, managed to get a job eventually, and then moved over to where I'm now, which is at Supermassive Games.
Amazing. Let's get a round of applause for that. Now, Minnie, I've always been a big gamer, but you're a banger. Like, you do not put a game down. Like certain times, you should have been in your bed as a you and you're up playing your consoles. How did you how did you balance, is the question, gaming and studying? So to make sure you stayed on top of all of your qualifications, making you stay on top of your coursing, but still being able to game with your friends. What advice would you give to balancing studying and gaming?
You should play games a bit, but separate time. Make sure you do your studies first. But to be honest, it's kind of, you need self-discipline for yourself. If it's something you want to do and you really want to do it, you'll stick to it, regardless of what it is. There wasn't always times when I was 100% on the ball. I wasn't. I could have been playing game the whole day. I should have been studying, but I didn't. But I knew at the end of the day, this is what I wanted to do. And it's kind of at that point in yourself to know, cool, do I want to do this or do I not? If you want to do this, stick to it. And at the end of the day, something will come. And as I said, you've got all of us around you, you've got all different individuals that you can talk to, and we can be there to help you get through these doors if you need them. So as I said, take the time, come to these events, go to other events, even like EGX or whatever it is, and just meet people, network, and see what they're doing and get that inspiration of, oh, I can do this. And also seeing someone like me, most people in the industry don't look like me, but I'm evidence that you can get there, you can be there. So, yeah.
We're both very lucky to have really supportive families and be able to support each other. My mum's in the place. Everyone give my mum a round of applause, Mama Midas. And one of the great things about my mum is she kind of let us go down the routes that we wanted to. As long as we were getting what we needed to do, as long as we were getting our education and staying on top, she wasn't forcing us to be able to say, no, you have to be an accountant. If you want to go and do the gaming, you can go that route. How important is it to have that family support behind you?
I feel from the foundation it is very, very important, because when you're pressured and forced into doing something you don't want to do, at the end of the day, growing up it can be a lot. Because at the end of the day, our worlds are all individual. No one's world is bigger than anyone else's, because at the end of the day, it's what you're going through. So having the support of your parent, your guardian, that's the person that raised you, having their support to believe in what you want to do, it will inspire you to do more.
Love that. Love that. Round of applause for that. That's why we're here today. All right. So you got to work for a development studio. You work for a studio called Media Molecule. They're incredible. They make games. You actually did a job that was different from what you actually studied in university. So you at Media Molecule do QA. How comes you went down that route instead of getting the specific job you want, and why did you go down that route?
So the route I went down wasn't necessarily the route I originally imagined and envisioned, but one thing about it is the game industry is a very competitive scene. So it is something that to get your foot in the door is very difficult. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in the way that I had planned. But the way that I did manage to get in was through QA, and that sort of transition, at first I didn't think, oh, it was for me, but there was a lot that I was able to learn, because being in-house in industry, there's certain things that you will never get outside. And even though the route isn't necessarily the route that, as I said before, there's things that not only the individuals that I was able to network with and learn and all those sort of things, just being there meant a lot compared to not. Because regardless of it, if you can be there, you can learn so much. If you can speak to someone at the coffee machine, you can learn so much. And there's so many individuals that I've been able to connect with on that side, that if I just said, no, I'm not going to do this, I wouldn't have got. So regardless of it, if you can get in and study and continue. And at the end of the day, you never know. You might see something that you're like, oh, this actually might be something that I want to learn. And someone there that has got so much experience can give you that knowledge. just from being there.
Love that. Your network is your net worth. You see it. I've known Dex for over 10 years. We're only recently started working together. So network, meet people, take emails. Like, you never know what route you're going to get through this scene. Mini Midas, lastly, before we let you go, what advice would you give to parents if their child really is into gaming, wants to have a career in gaming, and they're like, Mom, Dad, I want to be a gamer? What advice would you give to that parent to help guide them and actually work towards a career, not just be sitting at home playing Fortnite and just chilling?
I say the first step is doing stuff like this. Coming to events with them to show them who's there and also let them understand and learn from individuals like myself. Going to other events such as I said, a big event, EGX happens every year. Great opportunity, but there's opportunities to learn and see what's around. There's different sections that are generally dedicated just to careers that you can go and speak to these individuals. But I'd say, yeah, taking the time as an adult to go, cool, I understand this is what you do. Let me take you to these places, and can learn myself what it is that we need to do to get you there, but also for them to understand what they want to do.
Everyone give Mini Midas a big round of applause.